There are times in the market where some days I will win, some days I will lose. Majority of the time I will lose. But what these losses taught me was adjust your strategy and figure out this plan. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. So by the end of this video, you're going to know if you can grow a $100 account into something big. And this exact same model that I'm going to share with you is the exact same model I've been following on all of my YouTube live streams when we were going live years ago, and also currently going live now. And just to kind of fast forward all of this $100 account is sitting at almost about $2,000. But the best part, majority of these trades, about 90% of these trades were literally took on my live stream here on YouTube. And just by that, it literally got me thinking, like, if I could do this with a $100 account to just about $2,000, what could I do with a $100,000 account going up to maybe scaling it to $1 million? And that is exactly why I put together this new program called Take One Solo Trades, which is exclusively offered only through Board Funded. But I'll explain that a little bit more in this video. Let's first talk about what's important. Now, before I show you my 3 best setups that I look for in the market from the 1 minute going to the 5 minute time frame, there's 3 elements you need to know in order to make this make sense. The first one is setting a risk per trade, or you can do overall account. This is key. The problem that we face is we are coming in the market without knowing the anticipation of, are we risking 5%, 20%, or 30%? And the rule that I created for my system is only risk 15 to 30% per trade. Yes, this might seem very high to a lot of you guys, but keep in mind, it really doesn't matter what you're setting your risk tolerance to. Just know that writing this down and having this part of your plan is what's going to make you consistent and disciplined towards what you really should be risking every single time you're going into a trade. And this is something I emphasize a little bit more in our Take One Solo Trades new program that is exclusively through Board Funded. Let's say you're trading with a $100,000 account. You're like, well, I know my overall risk can't be no more than 5% per day. Well, that's perfect. Maybe you need to bring that number down to 1%, maybe 1.5, or if you want to go a little bit higher to 3%, that is possible. But the key element here is to understand whatever you put on your actual plan, you stick by it consistently and you do not fold from that whatsoever. Now, the second thing is know your assets that you're trying to trade. Stress this all the time. Try to focus on just 3 pairs or 3 assets and don't try to go over the top, because every asset is like your own child. You want to treat it like your own child. You want to understand that this one moves completely different from this one, and this one moves completely different from the other 2. And that's exactly why I'm only focusing on just 3 to 4 pairs while I am trading my personal account and even my funded account. So when you guys see in this video, when I break down these setups, you're going to understand that Bitcoin is really one of my bread and butters because it is the most volatile when it comes to trading, and it works very well when it comes to Elliott wave, and that's something I'm gonna also show you guys in a bit. But the second is US oil, which I've talked about this in a lot of my videos, and if you haven't checked them out, I'll link a couple down below. Oil is very consistent and precise based off of my scalping strategy, and that's exactly what I'm also going to break down in this video and show you guys these exact setups 1 minute to 5 minute and how you can enter in the market and catch these same pips as well. Okay, so now you understand it is all about your risk, it is all about the assets, and the final thing is your strategy, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing now. So let's talk about these setups. Losses happen.
We're a country right now under siege with so many different problems. Nobody respects us.
I forgot to put my stop loss.
Italian Prime Minister, as you
Holy sh! You seen that? Don't let things like that get to you, because it will happen. This happened on my funded account, not my personal account, but it happened. And I want you to understand that if you have your plan and you just stick by your plan, you will long-term see a growth on your account because you are focusing on the longevity and not the short-term goals. So look here, you guys see this is my account, which is at 103. We'll deposit this on the 6th. So basically about 2-3 weeks, we kind of got it almost to that $1,800, a really $1,800 mark going into $2,000 mark. But we took mainly NASDAQ trades, oil trades, and Bitcoin trades. This is pretty much all you will see in my trade history. So majority of these trades we're going to be talking about is Bitcoin setups, and then we're going to get into some of the oil trades as well. But as you guys really see, a lot of my money's been made off of Bitcoin lately, and more than anything else, and that's pretty cool to see. So let's get into it. All right, so how I trade Bitcoin is pretty simple. I use something called the Elliott wave structure, the Elliott wave theory. I got videos, like I said, linked down below if you guys want to learn a little bit more about that, but you're going to get the concept here. I use this 5-wave structure, which I understand that each trend, rather if it's up or down, consists of 5 waves. And then within these 5 waves, you have increments inside of these where you have sub waves, known as your ABCs, your corrective waves and such. So the cool thing here is I use this as my baseline to outline my 4-hour structure. So let's say we're looking at this on a 4-hour time frame, and I'm analyzing this and I'm telling myself, where are we at right now in the market? We can either be here, we can either be here, or we can either be here. Regardless, we need to understand exactly where we're at in the market. So let's just say ideally we're looking in wave 3, which is here. Now, I always talk about how important wave 3 is, as this is like your longest trend in the whole picture, because when it comes to looking at Elliott wave, it is all a mirror effect. It is all a snowball effect. So if we zoom out and then we sit here and ask ourselves, all right, if you're telling me that there's also 5 waves inside of wave 3, what does that really look like? Well, looking back over on the right hand side, knowing that we zoomed out, but now we're zooming back in, we're now going to be seeing the exact same structure right inside here, which is just this 3rd wave. And now looking at this, we're now on a 15-minute time frame. So how I like to look for these setups is quite simple. I look for the impulsive wave. Once the impulsive wave happens, I then wait on the very first pullback. That very first pullback is the pullback to key your overall consolidation, meaning in every pullback, in every correction, you have 3 to 5 waves. So your 3rd wave could be something like this one. This is your first pull, 2, and then boom. And then this will look like now a whole Elliott wave or a whole wave theory pattern, something like this, where you have your, let me draw this out, where you have your 1, your 2, and then your 3. Let's say this same concept occurs again. So let's say that we see the trend and then the first pullback. We'll see this as our 1, our 2, our 3, our 4, and then our 5. And then, like I said, after the 3rd wave or the 5th wave, that is when you can expect the continuation, which is just like this. That is all I look for when it comes to Bitcoin. And that is exactly why you guys see on my account, we've been cashing a lot of pips with Bitcoin. And that is simply because we've been holding these trades because we understand we're in this wave continuation and trying to ride it all the way up to the top part. And that is exactly what you guys are getting here. All right, so as you guys see, we're currently on a 1-hour time frame and we're looking at this right here. We see that we're on a very, very impulsive trend, meaning that we broke past this high with a huge displacement candle, which is just a candle that engulfs all candles, and it's a very aggressive candle. Basically, it's just larger than any other previous candles breaking past this high. Basically just determines that this is the change of character. We now see that the market could be shifting the other direction. So within that, keep in mind when I had said before, you want to count every pullback as your first initial pull before it goes up. Remember, you need 3 moves going sideways or going expanding, something like this, or something like this, before it continues. And this is where a lot of traders get caught in the lingo. And this is where I'm like, yo, 1 minute entry is perfect because I see what's going on a higher scale. So seeing on a 1-hour scale, we're focusing on just this right here. Notice this was our very first pullback. After this, market definitely increased and it went up, right? Now, of course, we could have made money off of this based off of this pullback, and I'm gonna show you guys that too. But let's talk about this right here. So this first pullback happened. So now I'm going to draw out a line, and I'm just going to wait to see if this line is going to either tap somewhere here or tap something like this. The problem with doing this is you will never know exactly where market is going to hit, rather if it's going to come down here or come down here. You can use other different things like supply and demand to figure this out, or order blocks and such if you want to get that technical. And I do have videos on that as well. Like I said, I'm linking all of this down below. But subscribe if you guys want to consistently see these type of videos and follow in tune with it. But if you guys pay close attention, market drop, went up, and then drop. Like I said, you got to measure your 3 waves or your 5 waves. If we measure this, our very first pullback was wave 1, or we can call it basically 1 leg, 2nd leg, and 3rd leg. Like I said, after the 3rd leg, I'm like more interested in trading it. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to mark this like this so I know on a smaller scale where we're at. So now we're jumping on a 5-minute time frame. Now, obviously on a 5-minute time frame, you will understand that I think I got in this way too late. And the realistic answer is yes, depending on where you're trying to put your stop loss. Guess what? Like I said before, remember that you get 5 waves in every leg. Regardless of whatever leg you're in, you're going to get 5 waves in wave 3, 5 waves in wave 5, and 5 waves in wave 1. So now we literally will see that exact same reaction we just spotted on a 1 hour happening on a 5-minute time frame. So if we look at our pulls, we kind of count these pullbacks correctly, and then we're going to see if this is correct. So as you see, we got our first pull, 1, 2, and then this can be 3. Now, of course, when you guys are trying this out, you're going to be freshly new to this. So a lot of these pullbacks, you're going to count them all as your first pullback and trying to figure this out. And once again, don't worry about it. I'm here to make sure you guys are straight. But if you guys pay close attention here, you would pretty much see that move had happened. Let's say we decide to enter the market right here off the 5-minute, and you can do this off of the 1-minute time frame. Well, I was hoping that it didn't like push me away, but as you guys see, it's a little bit more detail, just a lot more noise. But let's just play this one out. Let's say we wanted to play this trade out, and then as you guys see, market had tapped that area. Now let's say we do the same exact thing again. Notice we got another pullback here, so this counts as pullback 1. As you see, it's going further down, so basically this whole initial thing could be our first pullback here, and it's going further down more, and I'm gonna explain to you guys why this happens. So as you guys see, the market pulled back a lot more than it anticipated. Why is this? Well, let's go back to the 5-minute time frame. Remember when I said earlier that you usually get 3 to 5 waves inside of a pattern, and this is why it's very important to understand this concept before you start to take these trades and figure out why is this, because if you guys look, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So now we basically got 5 waves, and now we can ride this pattern up if we want to again. So this is pretty much how I take my trades when it comes to trading Bitcoin. Let me just show you a little bit of how I trade US oil as well. All right, so now when it comes to trading US oil, it is pretty much the exact same concept, but I'm not looking too much into the pullbacks. I'm just simply looking at a range, meaning if market created this range here, I am literally looking for any type of imbalance in the market that it needs to be balanced out, where price will head to this area to balance it out. And usually this is anything above or below the 50% mark, depending on if you're buying or selling it. And then when that happens, I use my moving averages to kind of help me initiate the actual sell pressure. Because keep in mind, guys, these moving averages are like magnets. This is another way I use it for. It's like a magnet. It's like a period of where market average out should be, or I get a closed candle closing above it or below it. In this instance, below it. On a 5-minute scale, I'm taking my entry. So if you look right here, we pretty much got closed below. We tapped this area right here, which is imbalance created right here, meaning this is my range. This was all imbalance created right here. We basically came back and balanced the market out, and then after that closed candle 5-minute right there, you see it close the blue and the white moving average. And then if you guys don't know what my moving averages are, it is literally the 113 for my blue EMA, and then I am using the 24 EMA for my white. But as you guys see, candle close, and then boom, we took a ride to our TP marks. And that's essentially how that whole process works. Now remember, it's not about the money. It's not about showing that you can make the most money in a short amount of time. It is about consistency. And this is why I like to do these videos consistently on my via YouTube live stream. also showcasing them on these pre-recorded videos so you guys can see that I am consistent with this and it's just not just a one-time thing. Now keep in mind, if you guys don't have $100 you want to start off with to do a personal account, that is completely fine, and you want to start scaling your big funded account, this is exactly why I decided to do our new program, Take One Solo Trades, exclusively through Board Funded. Basically what this is you get an exclusive discount that I'm not giving out in the public. Only way to get it is if you sign in down below, the link there, sign in, sign up, and you literally get the discount code. But you get the discount code and you can purchase any challenge for any price. And when you do that one time, you'll get access to our Discord community, which is exclusive channel through Board Discord. And then within that, every single month we will be going live and doing live Q&A. If you guys want to ask me questions, and maybe if you want signals or any bots or anything like that, we can work that out as well in our community. But once again, if you guys are interested in that, make sure you check the link tradewithsolo.com. Get in tune with that. Link is in the description as well. And I will see you guys in the community. Other than that, peace, take care, see you guys in my next video. Peace.